Mm. All right. I think we're live somewhere. Good morning, everyone. It's the 6th of January. Let's see, Friday, Costa Rica. Here working on Reverse TV series with a really great, amazing group of people that are in a space to teach us all about carnivore and why it's so important to improving your health and wellness every single day. And these concepts and ideas are so foreign to us in general because our traditional habits and diets have been fruit, fiber, vegetables, seeds, nuts, lean meat, no fatty meat, and don't touch the fat. And being fat is bad, but in fact, being fat is not the cause of disease. The cause of disease is simply a plant-based low animal fat diet. Shaw, good morning. Marcy, good morning. How are you doing? Obi-Wan, how you doing? Good morning. Kiltzy is here at a different time zone. I'm in Costa Rica. Let's see, and just amazing meeting people. Let's see. I met Dr. Ken Berry yesterday. Dr. Anthony Chaffey. Let's see. Emily and Bella, and oh my God, so many great people. Kelly Hogan. Oh, let's see. Coach Bronson is here. So just amazing people. Good morning, Mauricio. Good morning, MI or ML Journey. Good morning. How are you doing? Sultan Smoker. Good morning, Kim. My friend Kim Locklear from let's see, Guthrie, Oklahoma. Good morning. God bless you, my friends. Beautiful day. Buenvenidos. Carolina Libros, how are you doing? Hockey Mom Avalon. Good morning from Philly. I'm soaking up a little sun this morning. I'm sitting out by the pool. I'm at this great hacienda here in Costa Rica. It's really amazing, and so many great, amazing people are meeting. And the Reverse TV series crew is amazing. Esther, good morning. We've been talking about Laszlo also. Dr. Chaffey and I have been talking about deuterium, and we're all working to deplete our deuterium. Mushrooms, lion's mane. I don't recommend mushrooms, my friends. From Argentina, good morning, good morning, good morning. Cam, how you doing? Mom, Circlin from Finland, good morning. From the Qs, Kiltz will be back in Syracuse on Sunday night coming up. Hockey Mom, the sun looks, oh my God, the sun is so beautiful. I'm going to give you just a little bit of what I'm sitting and taking a nice, beautiful look at. Beautiful property here that Charles, who's just and his crew set this up so many great ways. Fit Church Austin, how you doing, my friend? Good morning. The sun is beautiful. The sun, remember, we all get our energy from the sun. That's really it, right? The sun touched those little chloroplasts in the seeds, the plants that suddenly sprout the plants, which the cows eat and which we eat the meat, and here we are. But whether you're vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, or carnivorian, we're all part of the same family. And if you're hurting and suffering from some physical, emotional, mental ailment, you might try either keto or carnivore for a cure. It's kind of crazy, right? Good morning, SC3, my friend. How are you doing this great, great day? I'm just kind of taking a little different time zone, a little slow and easy. I'm coming on when I'm coming on. I might be here for 15 minutes or the whole hour. I don't know. I'm sitting waiting. And Dennis and I were talking. Emily and I were talking this morning, and just sharing thoughts and ideas of carnivore and keto and how this body works. That's the kind of amazing part to the story. How does this human body work in the first place, right? We breathe in oxygen, right? And we breathe out carbon dioxide. The plants breathe in carbon dioxide and they breathe out oxygen. So kind of this cycle that we're all part of, right? All part of it, aren't we? A Tam, good morning to you. I Hell Trasler. Let's see. Nathan, good morning. C. Sanus, good morning. Let's see. Dr. Donald Vega, I met yesterday. Let's see. I'll make sure I get everyone in this journey. There's just so many great, amazing people. And then the guests, which are the students, and we're the teachers. Although my sense is we're always moving between student and teacher, each and every one of us, because I'm learning from what the teachers have to share for sure. Fernandez, Lauren, how are you doing? Let's see. Kelly Hogan is awesome and amazing. She has such amazing presence and energy, and she's a great breaks it down into simplicity. That's the part that I really like. Oh, and Sarah Zaldivar. Oh my God, Sarah's leaving today. She's just been a really great energy teacher, sharing and talking a lot about. I know that Kelly and Sarah will talk about addiction. Let's see, from Portugal, Saunas, San. None sentence CS. I'll get you that low carb. Jess, how you doing, Jess? And Robert Blee. Good morning. God bless you, my friends, all over the globe. We are human beings on this journey to share more love and kindness and generosity to everyone, right? That's what this real mission and journey is about. Again, whether you're a vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, or carnivorian, a Ron Hefty, how you doing, Ron? Let's see. Thank you, Rennie, for now. Thank you so much. You're killing it. Pathophysiology and disease. We're killing the diseases. That's what this journey is about. But in some ways, we're all going to die. We're all going to die of something, right? It's this journey back to the earth, right? And then back to the sun again, right? It's all coming around and going around, right? Chris Berry, how are you doing? Kim, good morning to you. Allah Zola, good morning. Buenos dias a todos. Kimberly Crutchfield, how you doing, Kimberly? Let's see. Receive a mail from Laszlo regarding the Toonomics. Okay, awesome. And there's a course coming up, right, Esther? And I'm going to ask Malcolm to put a link to that because so many people want to learn more about deuteronomics and why deuterium, heavy hydrogen, is so damaging to us. And by eating excessive plants and not eating enough fatty meat, we're damaging our body. And it's the plants which are the predators and we are the prey. And Dr. Chaffey has done talked so much about this, but check out also Kevin Stock. Kevin Stock is rock on. I've been following his Saturdays at 7. I think that's what they're called. And he's got some really great, amazing posts that I think are inspiring for all of us to learn something new. Maggie McClellan, how you doing? Carnivore Veracruz. Let's see. Are you hearing it? I'm hearing all of it. We're all here listening and learning from each other, right? I can hear them. So I got up early with the birds. The rooster was crowing at 3 a.m. here, which was really spectacular. I was enjoying it. Then I dozed back to sleep. And I've been watching the doves and the birds, and the crow was coming in the pool and just taking a little bath in the pool. And it was so beautiful every day. Costa Rica sunshine. Dutch, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for being here. Scott Garpo, how are you doing? A beautiful day facing destiny. We are all facing destiny, but we can see and learn from so many people out there. Yesterday on the drive from the main house, the filming house, to our beautiful hacienda, Vega, Dr. Vega was talking about, Donald Vega was talking about you got to burn the ships, right? You got to let go of them. But the other part is when you get on the ship, you got to lose sight of the shore, right? You got to lose sight of the comfortable stuff in our lives, right? In order to learn and grow, you have to get uncomfortable. That's what this life is really all about, right? Christmas arthritis back from eating carbs. I know, oh my God, free as a bird. I know too many people, like even Kiltz, had a little bit of carbs over the holidays, but I really maximized my fatty meat and minimized anything else. And I'm feeling pretty good. My shoulder is back. I'm doing great. The new season to see all the brilliant minds. Absolutely. The reverse TV series on carnivore. You got to see it, right, Dutch? Just prove to you carbs are poisonous. Listen, that carbohydrates in any significance or frequency is deadly for us human beings. We are the carnivores. We're the lions, right? When you eat like a lion, the simplistic comes in. Ultimately, fat is the fuel for the mitochondria in every cell of our body, and sugar must be converted to fat in the liver via insulin or we die. Let's see. So greater, let's see what you got. Let's see. Kathy D. Spears, Dr. Stock, Saturday 7 since the start. I've been listening for a long time. It's a great research paper on plants that is so great for people who think plants are the only way. It covers everything. We should put a link to that. That would be really good. Again, Kevin Stock is really rocking and rolling and sharing some really great things. Let's see if Dennis wants to come on in and sit and talk for a few minutes. I want you all to meet my new good friend Dennis, and Dennis is here as part of the Reverse TV students, right?
Yes.
How's it going so far?
Yeah, it's going great. We have a lot of useful information, a lot of all the experts, and just kind of like picking their brains and learning about carnivore and how it works and how it heals.
So besides Kiltz, who's your favorite teacher here?
They're all amazing. Dr. Berry, Dr. Chaffey, Dr. Sarah Zaldivar. Just awesome people, and just they're all looking to help.
They're all looking to help, and it's still a little bit of a challenge to take this in and understand how plants are poisonous and somehow fat is good.
The way most people think is, yes, fat is bad, and it's learning from you guys, it's furthest from the truth. And the body needs fat, and plants kill.
And Karen Smiles has a hello to Dennis. And again, I'm learning from Dennis, and let's see, Tim and Susan and Natalie and Marie. Did I get everyone there? I think I have. I always somehow miss someone in the story. Warrior PJ, how you doing? Alaz, let's see. Sadiqas, good morning from Dubai. How's Dubai doing? Right. All right, Dutch. Let's see. I had a few carbs as well. Let's see. Pomus, Duchess, were delicious. Oh, haha, glad to be back. 100% carnivore. Listen, again, all of us from time to time get off the track, don't we?
We all slip up at some point, but as long as we get back on track, you'll be fine.
And we're all getting back. Carnivore behavior. How you doing, my friends? It's great to see us. So let's see. Difference from ruminants. Their mitochondria run on grass. Well, actually, a ruminant's mitochondria runs on fat because they must convert their sugar to fat also. So a boy with a girl's name, that's a good comment. All mammals essentially run on fatty acids, and the mitochondria requires fat. So we know what a skinny animal looks like. It doesn't look healthy, right? Emaciated.
Correct.
And so we've made fat to being obese as ugly when in fact we're built to get fat to survive the famine. It's really as simple as that, right? All right, the land savior. Let's see. What do you? The cheesecake and drinking latte. Now I've been off coffee now for over 6 months, and I'd say in general, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think the coffee is maybe that last thing to give up, along with the alcohol for sure. All right, Kimberly. Let's see. I think I take pieces of every bit of information from each person. You're all great, but I think Kelly Hogan is exceptional, aside from you, of course. Oh, God bless you. Yeah, Kelly Hogan, her message is just so clear and concise.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's really great personality, and yeah.
It is great. Esther, once in a blue moon, we need some deuterium. Our real fuel is the natural depleted fat, which is depleted deuterium, right? Thank you so much. Appreciate your comments. Let's see. Pop Tio, Susan, retrieval next week. All right. I'll be back in Syracuse for egg retrievals next week. So we look forward to it. And we're really grateful for the questions, the comments, the thoughts and ideas. What's your real goal to being here, Dennis?
So to be healthy. That's really for myself, but then also I want the ability to go out there and show people that carnivore is the way we need to eat.
Right,
Really,
right, right.
that's my ultimate goal is to spread the word.
I mean, I've been in the Atkins paleo keto carnivore world for 20 years, and I'm still working to learn a better way to communicate and share the story, because it's not always so straightforward and easy.
No, it's not. A lot of mixed messages out there, and you really got to be careful what you listen to.
Yeah, you do, but we're all listening together, and that's the beauty. And we're all, I learned a little something from each person to sort of direct it on a little. Dr. Ken Berry, he's now the farmer where he's raising sheep and chickens, and I think he's thinking about putting some cattle on his land. So those are all really great things for us to think about. Hola, buenos dias, Susie. Awesome, thanks for being here. Let's see, there's no debate. Fructose straight to the liver and causes non-alcoholic fruity liver disease. Well, all sugars go directly to the liver, Dutch, and in the liver via insulin, they're converted to fat. But we excessively consume these things, so they're not able to be converted to fat fast enough. And so ultimately, the sugars have a chance to cause glycation, which is the damage of the liver, which ultimately causes the fatty liver. But remember, the job of the liver is to make fat. But a little bit, that's part of the challenges, right? We've been kind of told that sugar's the energy, and then we switch over to fat. Agree?
Yep, agree.
Which is Maria Jimenez. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. How many people do you believe actually have a problem with dairy? Hope I don't but suspect I am. Let's see. I think, I don't really know the numbers. It's 70% or 90% or 40%. Everyone's sort of going to feel it in the way you're going to feel it. I get phlegm a little bit from my ice cream, even a little bit, or the butter a little bit.
For me, it was the aged cheeses were affecting my skin.
Yeah. I still do some blue cheese or gorgonzola. I really love it. I find I enjoy it, and I have minimal to no signs and side effects, but some people do. So you have to be careful. Metabolically healthy. Absolutely. Could you please give us links to your carnivore colleagues? We'll put links to all of them. Absolutely. To Ken Berry, to Sarah Zaldivar, Kelly Hogan, Emily, and Emily's last name, boy, she's going to kill Kiltz on this one. I had trouble with Zaldivar's last name yesterday, so I'll get in trouble in some way. But let's see, Dutch Carnivore, have an awesome day, my friend. Keeping us keto. I don't think he really eats much fruit himself. Yeah, too much fruit is deadly for us. Again, even Dr. Saladino is in the honey and fruit. What's your thoughts on honey and fruit?
I stay away.
Yeah.
To me, it's too dangerous. It as soon as something sweet touches my lips, it becomes an issue, and then it just leads to, leads to more sugar for me. Yeah,
and these things are deadly and detrimental for us in any significance or frequency. A little bit from time to time. Rachel Lynn, how you doing? Again, Esther, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for jumping on, even for a few minutes, and sharing your thoughts and idea. Fruit turns in, it breaks down to sugar, and then in the liver it converts to fat, and then there are other toxins in fruit besides the fiber, which ferments in our gut, and other toxins that the plants carry. That Marilis, thank you. Harvo, is Harvo? Is that how to pronounce Emily's last name? Thank you. I love you guys for always. Hey, Kiltz, here's what you need to know. You need to know this, right? Let's see. Again, great morning. Thanks. Let's see. Mormon Jay, thanks for being here. We love you guys. Thanks a lot so much. Let's see. Again, we're all reversing the diseases. It's not just diabetes. Have you had any other issues that you've been suffering from?
No, just the type 2 diabetes. Yeah, that was my when I decided to transition, it was.
And was that a shock to you when you were diagnosed with the diabetes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was eating healthy, I was exercising, but I couldn't lose any weight. but I also was eating carbohydrates and sugars. Not excessively, but even just cauliflower, broccoli, all plant foods, right?
Right, which are friendly in the keto world.
Correct. But for me, they were no good. So carnivore, just glucose levels are stabilized, and it works for me.
Let's see. Let's see. God bless you, everyone, for being here. We're all having. I hope everyone has an awesome, amazing day. We're at the Reversed TV series here in Costa Rica, filming. Let's see. Charles Maddox is really and his crew are putting something really spectacular together. So go online and start watching the Reverse TV series, and then you'll get a flavor of what's to come. Maria Emmerich, of course, is the queen of keto carnivore. Really excited to have her here with us. Let's see, Billy Bob, great to catch you this week from South Detroit. Thank you. Dr. Saladino is in carnivore. That's again, maybe we're all trying to sell something, and maybe we have to reshift our energy and ideas and recognize that health and wellness is built in faith first. Eat fertile fatty foods. I go right for the ribeye personally and add some butter on it. It's always best. And Bella's here and brought some butter. Made sure we all had plenty of butter to put on those beautiful steaks that Dawn was making yesterday. Plus we had some Italian sausage, some chicken, the steak, and some burgers.
Yep,
it's been all really great. It's all been really great. Let's see, diarrhea 9 months. Let's see, love Mezzo Calvin, I think. Love me some Calvin. All right. It takes me a while to get some of these long names. Barris D3K2, how you doing this morning? But ultimately, I think the diarrhea is secondary to damage to the glycobiome, the glycocalyx, the sugar layer that protects our bowels. And when the sugar is damaged, which is like the trees that protect the soil and the grass protects the soil. So ultimately, we have to realize that so much of what we've been taught is wrong. That's the craziness. But I would say that fasting and more fatty meat, lean meat's not good. You want to eat the fatty meat. That's so important. And without a gallbladder, you're still making bile that feeds the bowels in order to emulsify the fats, put them into chylomicrons, and take them to the lymphatics. That's it. Let's see. How much ATP is generated by ketones? I believe it's 30 to 38 times ATP on glucose. Well, glucose doesn't produce the ATP out of the mitochondria. Glucose in the cytoplasm is converted to pyruvate, generates a couple of ATPs, but pyruvate must be converted to acetyl-CoA, which essentially happens via insulin in the liver. That's where I think that masterful conversion happens. But I'd say yes, Dutch Carnivore, that the ultimate production of ATP is via fatty acids. That's really it. All right, let's see. Any issues with annatto? I'm not sure I know what annatto is. Let's see. After meeting so many experts during these days, I think as we are unique, one of my biggest takeaways, we each have to do our adjustments, learn from others. There's not an only recipe. Absolutely. Maria Jimenez, you find what's right for you. Okay. But if you're suffering, you might look at fasting and more fat to your diet. That's so critical. And diets are dead, by the way. We're here to talk about I call it the lion's way. Eat like a lion, not like a pig, cow, or a sheep, right? Fatty meat versus butter. Some people do better on fatty meat. The butter can be very inflammatory, Rennie, for now. Jim 66. Best wishes in 23 to everyone. All right. Jess, anything else to share with us?
No, I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to finally meet Dr. Kiltz. Awesome guy, very knowledgeable, and
Well, hopefully, maybe I can get Dr. Chaffey on our live tomorrow morning. We'll do a couple of either Instagram or some YouTube, Facebooks. But LDL cholesterols, again, I don't measure LDL cholesterol. I don't measure cholesterol. Low cholesterol is deadly. Low fat in your environment is deadly. You want to make sure you get the fat That'll make you fit and amazing. Let's see, Google, let's see, Kiltz Diarrhea, and you will get to the page, this website, tons of great info and tips. Thanks very much, Dutch. Again, look at Dr. Kiltz. We're going to have all these links here. And the diarrhea, when you go carnivore, you'll heal that for sure. LED, 100%. Again, the ages and rages, the advanced glycation end products and are damaged. But basically, sugar is a real damaging component.
Poison.
It's poison. Again, a little bit from time to time, but a lot spectacular. Great to be here this great morning. I want everyone to go have a great day. Check out Reverse TV. Might give Kiltz a little bit. Adia is going to be showing up, I think, later today. It's going to be on for tomorrow. Dennis, thank you. Appreciate very much. But I love Blackers. We are curing on carnivore. And don't forget to check out Judy Cho on Carnivore Cure. She's got so much out there. Let's see. Reversed diet disease, but no fat loss. Well, eat less frequently. Go for some walks, but don't overdo it. Overdoing it damages the Ferrari. And remember, we are Ferraris. We are not pigs, cows, or sheep, or Yugos, right? 40 had 40s. Keep it up, Dennis. Awesome. Kathy, water fast. Do you mean not drinking water? We drink too much water. Drink less water. That's really important for all of us, by the way. I think that's really critical. Thank you, Mark Kovich, carnivore, organ and pastured meats or butter. Katsouls, it's not necessary. Bella was there, Emily, Kelly was there, and Sarah was there. And they threw in Kiltz. Need the liver. I think the liver meats are really great, and I love them. Watching carnivore guest, and they brought to my attention to how to watch the cream raw doing. Have a great. We all need to be praying every single and amazing day. All right. Catholic Carnivore, how are you doing? Albright Bella. Let's see. Can I get Dr. Chaffey to just come on live for a minute? Maybe. Well, you choose it, man. Let's see. I'm going to have to compete for everyone. And we're going to share it, Dr. Anthony Chaffey live, and just sharing a few. It's 5 a.m. somewhere, isn't it? But
Australia?
Yeah, you do. Well, that's the beauty in Australia. Let's see, it's 5 a.m., but it's about 5 p.m. or
depending on daylight savings, it's either where I'm at, it's either 5 p.m. or 6 p.m.
Well, and so, but again, wherever you're at in this world, we're all sharing the same idea. We want to be healthier.
Yeah,
right. And how did you find this crazy world of carnivore? I know you've been doing it for about 20 years. You learned it as a student.
Yeah. Well, it was really just because when I was studying in college, you just learned how toxic plants were.
Yeah.
And that they use these defense chemicals to stop animals from eating them. And so unless you're specifically evolved and adapted to eat a specific plant, you don't have the biomechanics to break down and detoxify these things completely safely. We have some of that ability,
right,
but we don't have complete ability to do that. And in fact, most plants, we don't have really any ability to do that.
And so plants or vegetables, and as children don't eat those things either.
Yeah. So there was my cancer biology professor at UW in Seattle, and he was saying that it was just basically going over how toxic plants were and how carcinogenic they were, because this is cancer biology. So we were looking at carcinogens. And so we just went through how dozens or even over 100 carcinogens that a grocery store have. And we were all very, very taken aback by that. And I remember in the back of my head thinking, but vegetables are still good for you.
Yeah, right.
Because it's what you're told since you're born, basically. At least I was. And he just looked at us and he said, I don't eat salad. I don't eat vegetables. I don't let my kids eat vegetables. Plants are trying to kill you. Wow. And so I said, right, forget plants. And so I just stopped eating plants entirely. But when you go to the grocery store, you find that absolutely everything is made with plants. It's either completely plant or made with plants.
Right.
And so I was just walking around in an absolute fugue, just not understanding what I could eat. And I was just trying to find something, and I just came across some eggs. So I said, okay, eggs don't come from a plant. I'll eat some eggs. I came across the meat aisle, grabbed some meat, like, okay, this doesn't come from plants. And that was my entire decision-making process, was I don't want to eat plants, and I'm not going to put plants in my body. And so I just defaulted into just eating meat, and I never felt better.
So you're an athlete, and can you live as an athlete just on meat and eliminate plants and sugars?
Yeah, I'm better than ever. I was playing as top level rugby in North America at the time. So we played in like the Super League in America in BC, and so I was 20 years old. I was playing for Mets. My athletic performance just took off to all new heights, and so I was anyone who could outperform.
So these events, which make you feel good in the moment, but they probably don't add to your performance.
Not to mine. And enough when I was playing, we really just focused on water. Maybe some people would bring some Gatorade, or some. I never sort of partake.
And really, no other animal performs at that level for any significant amount of time. Gladiator and doing these sports,
and especially with these big long war, it's a battle that it's not exactly the same as actual war, but it's fierce combat, and you're pitting yourself against these other people, and you're trying to physically dominate each other, and you have to just go and go and go. So I think of it as sort of like endurance sprinting. You're always at a dead sprint, but you have to keep sprinting for an hour and a half, and you have to, at the end of that sprint, you have to smash your body into someone else and try to crush them to the ground and not let them.
And maybe you could just talk a little bit about what type of exercises you think are.
I do think exercise is very important, at least according to various studies. People who exercise, especially like later in life, they do better cognitively, and they maintain their independence longer. There was a study that showed a direct correlation between leg strength and cognition in elderly. And so that could have a lot of different meanings as to why that is, but it's an interesting connection. And obviously someone who's staying more active and exercising and eating right to the point that their legs don't deteriorate, they're doing other things that are going to keep them mentally intact as well.
Right. So which one comes first?
Exactly.
Maybe, you're more cognizant of the environment, and you're learning from others, and you're more active.
And you're eating well as well. And you're not just eating, just tea and toast, and then just slowly shrinking,
Yeah. What's the standard breakfast that so many people are having? They might be having bacon and eggs, but they're throwing toast and maybe coffee with sugar in it and those sort of things.
And a lot of people, as they get older, sometimes they are really just having tea and toast, and that's all they're eating. And they're not really getting animal products. They're not getting proteins and fat. And they're being told, look, you're old, you have a heart condition, you need to avoid all fat, all meat, all animal products entirely. So they're just eating this sort of grain-based, low-fat diet, and I think that is going to significantly contribute to their deterioration. As to your question about exercise, I think that I've always felt better when I've pushed myself, and especially like lifted weights. When I play rugby, it's not really like, I'm not really just running marathons. I'm not just running steadily. It's always it's sort of like wind sprints. I'm just like hard intervals, and then I give myself a bit of a chance to catch my breath, and then I'm going again. And I find that I just feel really, really great when I do that. I also feel that lifting weights adds a lot to that. I also think that there are people that completely can overdo it and hurt themselves. Look at Ronnie Coleman. That guy was a monster.
Yes.
And now he's in a lot of pain. He has a lot of joint pain, back pain. He's not able to move properly. And that's because he overdid it and he damaged his body.
And so many people are using steroids, which are counter to our true health and wellness.
Yeah, and that's the shame with Ronnie Coleman, because he's getting like sort of like second, third in these Mr. Universe sort of competitions naturally, right? And these big pro, maybe not the universe, but in these pro competitions, he was able to finish like top 3 without steroids, competing against other people with steroids. So when he said, okay, well, I can't compete unless I do what they're doing, all of a sudden he was just next level, just destroyed these people, because he was already very, very gifted athletically. But yeah, so when you're doing steroids, you're going to cause a lot of problems to your body. You're going to obviously disrupt your hormones, and have multiple organs damaged from this. But what you're also doing is you can strengthen your muscles past what your physical structure and capacity are to maintain that. So you get a lot of ligamental and tendinous injuries, where someone's doing some massive lift and their muscles are strong enough and their tendons just snap, and you get some serious injuries.
The excessive lifting probably isn't good for most of us on a consistent basis.
No.
But since most of us don't work in the, our work is generally sitting back at a desk and at a computer, and so we're not using our muscles in the way probably we've been doing for thousands and millions of years.
Yeah.
So that's where the resistance work, lifting weights can be very valuable. Doing yoga and that type of work, Pilates, can be very valuable.
Yeah, I think so. We are meant to move. We are meant to be we are physical creatures. We are hunters by design. You look at the Native Australians, Native Americans, other tribes that we've seen more recently that we actually have even living memory of some of these people living naturally. They were big, strong, tall, slender, lean people that could actually just run and chase down game. There was a book, I can't recall the name off the top of my head, but it was about the Australian Aboriginals. And it was all these detailed accounts about how when they were living naturally, they were actually quite tall. They were like, 6'5", 6'6", some of them pushing 7 feet tall. They found after unfortunately a massacre, they found some of the bones there after the British killed a lot of people. And they found the forearms of some of these people that were, in the description, they said that the forearm bones of these Aboriginal people were longer than these grown men actual full arm.
Wow.
So these guys were monsters. These guys were very, very tall. And now they're not. They've significantly come down, I think, because of that nutritional step down. But there are a lot of accounts of these guys being endurance hunters. People say that, well, people can't chase these things down. We have to, do all these different sort of things. That's actually not true. In Australia, they were running down game. They were running down kangaroo and other animals and just chasing them until they got too exhausted, and then they pounce on them and take them out. And so we were very physical.
Mm-hmm.
We were very, violent in a lot of senses, and you have to be to survive in nature.
Right. I mean, we have such ease of our food sources and our lifestyles, and here we are at this beautiful hacienda and sitting in and a nice, beautiful pool. Now we're here for first TV series, Carnivore. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about your involvement, your excitement to be here.
Yeah. Well, so this is the third season of Reverse. So the other two seasons on ketogenic diet, helping people reverse especially things like diabetes, which it's been clinically proven to be able to do, especially the work of Professor Steve Phinney, who's done a large randomized controlled trial showing that you can reverse type 2 diabetes just by getting into a state of ketosis and being on a ketogenic diet. And then the next logical step from there is carnivore, right? So in keto, you're removing all the carbs and sugars and alcohol and things like that completely disrupt your metabolism and make things go very wrong. And as we're learning more and more, a lot of these so-called diseases that we're facing are actually metabolic mitochondrial diseases. Like Professor Chris Palmer from Harvard wrote a book called Brain Energy, which is a masterclass on how mitochondria function, and when they are dysfunctional, you get all these problems and why, and how to fix that really with diet and metabolic lifestyle changes. So we're learning more and more and more that these metabolic therapies and just fixing metabolism in various ways, diet being, I think, the most powerful, most fundamental, are really the best ways of reversing very, very serious illnesses. And as I've mentioned to you and mentioned to others, I don't think that these so-called chronic diseases that we treat nowadays are actually diseases per se. I think that, in fact, they're more likely or more in keeping with toxicities and malnutrition, right? So a toxic buildup of a species inappropriate diet and a lack of species-specific nutrition, right? So we're eating plants that we haven't evolved to eat, and we're getting toxic results, and we're not getting enough meat and fat, which is hindering us. So this season, we're focusing on a carnivore diet. So not only eliminating the carbs and getting into the metabolic state that we need to be in, but reversing or taking away all those other toxic exposure, because that's how you treat toxic exposure. You get rid of the exposure. You eliminate that exposure. You don't just try to throw pills at people, right? If you have lead poisoning, the thing to do is get all the lead out of your environment, right? Not just here's a pill that helps mitigate the lead poisoning so you can just keep having lead pipes. That doesn't make sense. So this is the next step, and we're just eliminating out everything that we're not supposed to be eating and just letting people's bodies get on with it.
And if you think about it like poison ivy, right? It's so I don't know anyone who is not allergic in some way to poison ivy, but essentially all plants have some antigenic component that damages our bodies.
Yeah.
And interesting, there's a really great journal, the American, Journal of Plant Poisoning, put out by the United States Department of Agriculture, that talk about the poisonings that happen to livestock.
Yeah.
And so even the cattle that are grazing on their natural land where they eat grass, some of those grass is damaging and deadly to them.
Yeah.
And depending on the season or the invasive species. And yet goats, and they bring in goats in many ways, these environments to try to get rid of these invasive species so that the cattle and the horses and things can survive properly. So the data is all there, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I mean, look, this is a very well established fact. Plants contain toxic
Poisons.
elements. Exactly. So I mean, anyone who doesn't believe this, just study botany. Just take a book, any textbook on botany or horticulture, and that's the problem. No one studies botany, so no one knows this stuff. You know?
Broccoli, do they have poison in broccoli?
Yeah.
And so ultimately there are many cancer-causing chemicals in plants, and that's also been proven.
Yeah. So I mean, there are and other things is you call something a carcinogen. It can show in animal models and otherwise to increase a prevalence or likelihood of developing cancer down the road. That doesn't mean even smoking. Like everyone who smokes doesn't get cancer necessarily. And broccoli would certainly be less carcinogenic, far less carcinogenic than smoking would be. However, there are these chemicals in there that can cause disruption. Now, what is cancer? Cancer is a disruption of your mitochondria again, and it's a metabolic disease. Or if you're in the camp of the somatic theory of cancer, which I am not, it's damage to the DNA, which then precipitate cancer. But either way, you're talking about damage to the cell, damage to the normal functioning and structure of the cell that in some cases down the line can precipitate into metastatic cancer. But what is it doing that whole time? It is damaging your cell, it's damaging your body, it's damaging the normal functions. So whether or not you get cancer, it is damaging you, it's causing harm and disruption to your normal workings. And so whether or not you get cancer, it is still in your best interest to avoid things like that.
And we don't know why people get disease. And in medicine, the unknown cause is very, very common.
Yeah.
Right. The majority of the diseases we take care of, we call them idiopathic. And I usually say we doctors are idiots.
Yeah.
And we're blind to the possibility that, it's that thing that as in a hospital, what do they feed patients in your hospitals?
Oh, absolute garbage. It's all highly processed carbs and sugar. So it's sweetened carbs, sweetened carbs. So it's not enough to just be, low fat carb diet. They dump sugar on everything. And I just look at that every time I see my patients eating this stuff. And it really bothers me because I'm looking at that and thinking in my head, I'm like, the reason you're in here is because you're eating that. And now we're feeding you the thing that is going to make that worse.
Now you're in the medical profession. You're a neurosurgical resident down in Australia. How does it make you? I mean, is the medical profession pretty open to this concept of keto and carnivore and that plants may be the cause of our diseases?
It depends on who you talk to, and it depends on how you talk to them. Because I think that that most doctors are very open to just understanding how the body works and just wanting the best for their patients. And so if you make a very good argument, a compelling argument, a lot of people will listen to you. And I've found that because I sort of live this way and I've lived this way for a long time, and I look like I'm in shape and muscular and things like that, that I can say, well, this is what I eat, and this is why I eat it, and this is the biochemistry and pathophysiology of all these sorts of things. People do pay attention, they do listen. Not everybody is interested, but a lot of people see the way I eat, they see the way I live, and they sort of hear things here and there, and then they'll ask me about it. And they're like, well, so you only eat meat, and why is that? And all these sorts of things. And we'll get into a conversation, they'll ask questions, and they'll all be, based on these preconceived notions, these things that we've been taught our whole life, that I was taught my whole life, that, fat's bad, meat's bad, plants are good, aren't you getting, missing vitamins? Isn't fiber something you need? And all these sorts of things. And so we have those conversations. And, as long as you, have the answers and they're compelling, and you have it backed up by data. And I send people say, like, okay, well, do you have studies on that? I'm like, yes, I do. I keep them on my phone. I have like literally hundreds of these studies on my phone. And so any given conversation that we have, I can say, yeah, here's 3 studies, and so that seems to work quite well. And so I've had a lot of people that are very interested in that and come along. I've converted a number of people that I work with. A number of the neurosurgeons in my department are now carnivore.
Nice.
Everyone else is at least eating a lot more meat.
Right.
And except, I mean, some people are, one guy's religious, or 2 guys are religiously vegetarian, and so that's fine. But they've actually started eating more eggs.
Right, but even as
So
a vegetarian, you can many of them eat butter and eggs, and by adding those things and minimizing those other things and spreading out and maybe doing a little more fasting, we can significantly begin to heal the body.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so that's what I suggest to them as well. It's just like, hey, if you're happy with eggs and butter, just have a lot of eggs and butter. Have all the rest of it. Don't have the things you don't want, but that's something that you can do. And then, of course, it's up to them if they care to do that.
Well, really appreciate you being here today, and we're connecting with many more people working to be healthier every single day. And Dr. Chaffey came all the way from Australia, and so we're really grateful to have you, and really grateful to be here. And I'm sure we'll do some more over the next few days. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Dr. Chaffey, God bless you, and thank you for being here.
You too,
appreciate
sir.
you.
Good
All
to see
right,
you.
take care, everyone. All right, bye, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow morning sometime, maybe not 5, but be patient with Kiltz. God bless you. There we go. Awesome.